I think Sarukian should be fighting Makhachev. He is the #1 contender. Yes, he got injured and he couldn't make the fight, but he didn't lose. He's still the #1 contender in my eyes, but we know how the UFC operates, and Dana, whatever happened, didn't really like it, it seemed, and he's not getting the shot anymore. So if that's the case, like, I know a lot of people are clamoring for Charles Oliveira, and people love Charles Oliveira, and I'm a big Charles Oliveira fan, but I want to see more. I mean, he got one win after losing to Sarukian, and it just doesn't feel like the #1 contender to me. I wouldn't mind seeing Topuria get the next shot. I think if he's gonna vacate the 45 belt, which he did, F it, make the fight. I think for history's sake, I mean, it is just insane knocking out Volkanovski, knocking out Holloway, and again, big if, but imagine if he were to knock out Islam Makhachev. I think that would be the greatest three-fight run of all time. So F it, for history's sake. It would kind of feel like a champion versus champion fight. There is some history there. Ilia has been talking about him for a while. Why not? Why not? I do think that's the most interesting title challenger for Islam Makhachev right now.
That is crazy that you bring that up, because years ago there was a whole thread on greatest runs ever, and there's some good ones out there, including one by my guy Dan Henderson. He took out like 4 legends in a row. One was maybe a half legend, or maybe not even a legend, but still a former champion. It was around the time of Fedor and I think Shogun. But yeah, that would be an incredible run if he were to pull it off. Listen, I'm sure Danny and Goes and Nolan maybe feel the same. If not, we'll move on. Do you guys want to see it right away or not, guys?
Sure. Fuck it.
That's literally my feeling. So sum up everything that I just said.
I mean,
sure, fuck it, just do it.
Put like, Ilia versus Makhachev in front of me, I'm gonna be pumped. So I don't know, mix and match, like Danny said, Islam, Arman, Charles, and Topuria. I think with Topuria giving his belt away, I feel like we just need to do the super fight right off the bat. But if the UFC is going to change course and they are going to give it to Arman next, I wouldn't complain either, considering that he did previously earn it.
I think from a business standpoint, it just makes sense to put those two together. I know Sarukian and Oliveira aren't going to like it, but here's the thing, though. The other side that we maybe haven't talked about is, what does Makhachev want? Because really, is fighting another featherweight going to help him? Is that going to make him happy? I mean, isn't that the criticism from him? So I don't know what he really wants to do, but I'll say this much, man. When Volk fought him the first time, a lot of stuff that worked for him are stuff that Ilia Topuria is really good at. So I wouldn't be shocked, Danny, if he did pull it off.
Goes, who do you like?
Coaches have been telling me for fights now that they love that fight, and they've saw that first fight with Volkanovski, and they're like, "Yep, we can do that and better." And you can even make a case that his compact frame, because a lot of people in the chat, and rightfully so, are saying he's undersized. It might even help him in this. There's less of the person to grab from, right? There's less to grab in terms of Makhachev trying to tie him up. So I actually think it's a very interesting fight, and I think Ilia has a good chance in winning. Obviously, he would enter as the underdog, but I do think he's a live dog in that one. I think he's got a better chance than any top 55er right now, probably. But just one thing real quick, George, I do want to say, let's not forget, he does have a win at lightweight in the UFC. He beat Jai Herbert. When was this? 2023. I know he's not a top contender, but he has a victory in that division.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, but you're not making it sound like that's what gets you to the title, though, right?
Well,
I think what he's done as a featherweight,
he can have success at 155. He already had some success.
All right, fair enough.